Steve Cardenas, a.k.a. Rocky the Red Power Ranger, and you are watching Smart Tank Revolution.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Smart Tank Revolution, where we always kick out at 2. I am your host, Mr. Donnie Wonderful, back at you with another long overdue episode or video of the Essentials. We're back to ranking and rating wrestlers, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. And today, I wanted to cut this microphone on and actually tackle one of the most charismatic wrestlers that have ever laced up a pair of boots. And honestly, I alluded to doing one on Curt Hennig a lot sooner. But the past few days, I've been watching a lot of old Survivor Series, Royal Rumbles from the late 80s and early 90s, and you can't help but miss the imprint that Mr. Perfect, aka Curt Hennig, really left on the business, and particularly his run from 89 to 1992. He was, he was still in the WWF in 93. Took a couple of months off and made a couple of spot appearances in 94. He was the guest host of the Survivor Series in 1995. And I don't think we saw him again in WWF until 2002, where it was actually, for me, a breath of fresh air to see him. Because at that point, now I'm in, around 2002, I had to be, I want to say maybe 16, 17 years old around that time. So he became a really good nostalgia act for me. And also around that time, I was appreciating the wrestling that I grew up adoring. Even though we're in the midst of the ruthless aggression era at that time, my mind was still saying, hey, all those new generation and Attitude Era guys, and Attitude Era wasn't even that long removed from the ruthless aggression, but that was real wrestling to me. So that was during the time where I even gave Shawn Michaels a pass as a pure bona fide Bret Hart fan. Seeing Shawn Michaels seeing him return at SummerSlam 2002 was he got a pass. I said, okay, he's HBK. It's good to see these guys, and I was anxious to see them wrestle the likes of the Hardys were really coming of age then. Edge and Christian were separated from the pack, like the John Cena's, the Kurt Angles were there at the time, so I say all that to say Curt Hennig kind of fits in that class, where every time I think about him and watching his matches, it always brings a smile on my face, because I didn't realize how much I enjoyed watching him as a child and as a teenager too, because we got some really good years out of Kurt Angle, and unfortunately he passed away, and I want to say 2003. So the beauty of these videos on this playlist is that my colleague and I, we go off the cuff, because we try to present these in a way that reminds you of sitting on the couch talking to one of your homeboys. Only half the time we're looking at a computer screen, where I am because I'm recording this, or my colleague Joey Business, I believe he records off his phone. But try to envision yourself there, and you're hearing these things. And I know I can't hear your questions, but that's why we have a rating scale and a criteria to try to guess what your questions would be. So, after that long-winded, tangential introduction, it's in the description box how we do it, but I still like to always reference it every time we do one of these videos. So there's two ways that we rank wrestlers. One of them comes from the glorious book written by Bret Hart, My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Wrestling. He scores 3 categories from 1 to 10. And then from there, after we go over Bret's criteria, we transition over to the exclusive, illustrious Smart Tank Revolution's criteria. which we also rank 3 categories, but we do it from 1 to 5, and we give some slight edges. We'll do, it could be 1.5, 1.25, nothing really crazy. I've always genuinely voted with the 0.5 scale, but if you hear a 3.2, don't be surprised. That's just how our rating systems are. They're bipolar, just like how we rank our matches. And if you're new to the channel, please go back and listen to some of our material and listen to our match reviews. You'll really get a kick out of it. So, without further ado, let's go into Mr. Perfect. And I just want to say, Curt Hennig / Mr. Perfect, great theme song. Phenomenal. As a matter of fact, after this, if I even remember it, or when I listen to this back, because at times we like to listen to these things back, because we do it off the cuff, so my rankings could be different from the time I listen to it. We really go whichever way the wind blows us in that time that we're recording it. So I may even go back and say, hey man, I scored this guy an 8. I actually meant to do a 9. And what I'll do is, going forward on my replay, and I'll wait a few weeks after, I'll let it marinate. I'll go back in the comment section myself and say, hey, I ranked him an 8 here. I actually meant to rank him a 9, but I won't say which category if the numbers are different, because I don't want to give any spoilers. So, but this one, who knows? I mean, I may stick to it. I may stick to solid numbers and stand on it. Who knows? If you agree with them, please let me know in the comments. If you disagree with them, please let me know in the comments. We love to engage with our supporters. So again, for the second time, I'm saying, without further ado, so we're going to do Mr. Perfect, 3 categories on the Bret Hart scale, and we're going to begin with the wrestler's look ranked from a 1 to 10. Man, this one, I'm trying to justify in my mind why I wouldn't give Kurt Angle a perfect 10 here. The singlet itself, that's a wrestler's look, a collegiate wrestler's look. Only he was about 6'2", I want to say 6'2", maybe 6'3", or 6'1 and a half, around that type of height and stature. Really, really good build. There was a time where he sported only the trunks, but he was a bit thinner then, so he was really lean. So he always had a great athletic body. And then when you mix it up with his ring skills, I think that also should be considered when you're thinking of the entire package of Mr. Perfect. And that's actually part of one of the criteria is his ring skills, and we'll get to that later. But I'm trying to think of a reason why you wouldn't give him a 10 here. And yeah, he wasn't as big as Hulk Hogan, but professional wrestler, if he, as my colleague, the esteemed Joey Business would say, if you bump into him in a grocery store, you'll say, hey, this guy's an athlete. Well, I think Kurt Angle checks that. I'm sorry, Kurt Angle. We did Kurt Angle, by the way. I'm pretty sure Curt Hennig, for the sake, it's always just going to be Mr. Perfect, the WWF years, just so I don't go too far off track. But Mr. Perfect, I believe, he checks that box. Not as much as those big muscular guys, but in the era in which, guys were abusing steroids, I think he looked pretty honest. So I have to give him credit there. I definitely do. I love the ring attire. Even the towel. Oh man, the towel. Now the bubblegum spit, that was more of his charisma. Not necessarily. I guess that's a part of the presentation too. So I will funnel that in with the look, and I'll just go a 9. But put an asterisk by that 9 because I really want to give him a 10. But I'm thinking of other wrestlers whom I didn't give a 10 that probably deserved it. So I'm just going to be safe and say I'm going to give his look a 9. No, I'm not. I'm giving it a 10. He starts with a perfect 10 because I believe that he personifies what a wrestler looks like, you know, even down to the ring apparel. Now the promo ability. Now I have to give Curt Hennig some major credit here because, mind you, the promos that he gave were in the persona of Mr. Perfect. So if you're able to really elevate a character that was pitched to you, that you took on and put your own spin to it, I think you deserve some high praise there. And I really admired his promo ability, so much so that when he became a broadcaster, he even shined there. So I'll give him a solid 8 here. He was great. He was great on the mic, great in character, or perfect, as he would say. I should give him a 10 just for the sake of that. All right, real quick. For the sake of the character, 10, 10, and 10. All right, let's get back. So I gave him a 10 for his wrestler's look. I'm going to stick with the 8 for his promo ability. He actually has a great promo in SummerSlam 1991 leading up to his glorious title match with Bret Hart. And I kind of paused there because I'm pretty sure I'm going to reference that when we get into our rating scale. But one of the things that I liked how he kind of paralleled those two, meaning him, Mr. Perfect, and Bret. Excellence versus perfection. Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect. Even in his voice flexion, it sounded great. And then if you're a wrestler that had vignettes, I mean, that definitely has to help. And his vignettes were marvelous. The only man in history to throw a 100-yard pass to himself and catch it, you know, for a touchdown, even though nobody was guarding him, but still impressive. And then the in-ring work. And you know what? The in-ring work, I'm having the same dilemma that I had with the wrestler's look. Give me a reason not to give him a 10. And I jokingly said he should get perfect scores on all 3 due to the character persona, and I actually agree with that. But I'm going to be strict for the first time, well, maybe not the first time. I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to penalize him for overselling, but I loved how he oversold. The exaggerated overselling was phenomenal. And I've been using that adjective a lot on this channel lately. I'm going to go back to using other Donnie terms. The absolutely's will be back. But yeah, man, no, I got to give him a 10. Even his finisher, the perfect plex. It's all wrestling related. 10, 8, and 10. On Bret Hart scale, and I stand behind that, man. The in-ring work, everybody praises Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig. Find me a detractor. If you guys know of a detractor dealing with his in-ring work, please leave it in the comments because I don't know of it. And again, all of this is raw, unedited, off the cuff, unscripted. So this is how I feel now. So if you guys have any information that you believe would lead me to either add a point or take one off, please feel free to leave it in the comments section. Okay, 10, 8, and 10, 28 on Bret Hart's rating system. I'm pretty sure that he would rank him that high too. All right, so now we get into our unique rating system. It's called the Essentials. 3 attributes: innovative effectiveness, classic matches / classic rivalries, and defining and redefining moments. First of all, the innovative effectiveness here. The ability to work as a baby face or a heel. Now, the prime Mr. Perfect years, he worked as a heel, and a damn good one. If you call yourself Mr. Perfect, there's going to be a level of arrogance that comes with it. And it's a very hateable arrogance. And I think that's what made him a good heel. But when he turned babyface, I think the scenario really got us to lean behind him. If you all remember, let's jump in that hot tub time machine and let's go back to 1992, where the Ultimate Warrior, I forgot what happened. I think he did he miss a house show or something? I don't remember. But he gets fired from the company. It was supposed to be the Mega Maniacs, and then it became the Perfect Team. Not the Perfect Team. I forgot. I don't know. But Mr. Perfect turned babyface when he accepted the invitation of Macho Man Randy Savage to be his partner against Ric Flair and Razor Ramon. An excellent program. And that promo or that segment, you had no choice but to feel to support him, to feel some type, not sympathy. The exchange between him and Bobby Heenan was priceless. And matter of fact, that's actually a defining moment. But for this section here, I mean, I think it was more so that scenario that got us behind Mr. Perfect as a babyface. And it wasn't not too long after that, you know, he had the he had the WrestleMania 9 match with Narcissist that was meh. A rivalry with Shawn Michaels as these are as baby faces, which were okay, but we liked them so much better as a heel. So based on that, I'm gonna score him smack dab in the middle. I'm gonna give him a 3. And I hope that logic actually made sense. This one, I'm open to anybody arguing either way. If you think that I should have given him less, let me know. If you think that I should have given him more, I'm interested in hearing your rebuttals to it. So the classic matches and classic rivalries, there's quite a few to name here, just in the WWF years. I would say Intercontinental title match against Texas Tornado. Classic. Go back and watch it in case you missed it. Let me see if I can pull out 3. Man, I feel like I'm going to miss one. Damn it. I feel like I'm going to miss quite a few, actually. Let's get straight to it. He got 2 classic matches with the excellence of execution. One of them that may or may not have made Bret Hart. Okay, that SummerSlam 1991 is enough. 5. Perfect. You got that. Mr. Perfect got a perfect score on that one. Classic matches, classic rivalries. That Bret Hart alone, classic match as a babyface and a heel. Because that King of the Ring 1993, that qualifier match was really good with a great finish with the reversal of the small package. Only athletic wrestlers can pull that off. That rivalry was great. I would give them a perfect 5 on that, with the pun intended. And then the defining / redefining moments. I alluded to one of them earlier. His first major babyface turn was a defining moment in his career. Trying to think of another. I would say, let me know if I'm reaching, but I think what also really solidified him was, what was it, Royal Rumble 89 or 1990? Him being, the final 2 was Hulk Hogan and Mr. Perfect. Usually the runner-up in later years and even today, if you're the runner-up in the Royal Rumble, you know, that hints to some career highs, and I believe he had some after that. So that's a sleeper defining moment. I even have to venture off. I don't remember the promotion, but he was the heavyweight champion He wrestled Dennis Rodman. I remember watching that pay-per-view just because of it. And at this point, he's in his 40s and still was able to work really well with Rodzilla, the Worm, who is an athlete and a damn good one, but wasn't a professional wrestler. And he made that match. He made Kurt Hennig made that. He was Kurt Hennig at the time, so Kurt Hennig made that match what it was. I got to throw that in there as a sleeper. But you know, his Intercontinental reign was a defining moment. And there's storylines. I remember his involvement in the WrestleMania 10 angle, disqualifying Lex Luger, and costing him his world title. Well, it was Yokozuna's world title, but it was the closest that Lex got to smelling the gold. That was really big at the time. We don't talk about it a lot now, but that was really, really, really huge at the time. Yeah, I'll give him I'll another one in the middle here. I'll give him a 3.5 actually. I'll lean it up a little bit. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one. Let me know what you guys think. Please leave your opinions in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and let the debate, let the arguments, if you're going to defend me, let all of that begin. I'm curious. I would like to know where you all rank Kurt Hennig / Mr. Perfect. Now, mind you, for the most of it, I only referenced his WWF run. What I'm going to begin doing, and what I might do, actually, I'm gonna keep that. No. Hey, the Men in Black. What's that thing they use? The neuralizer. Neuralize that last thing. I'm not giving any spoilers. All right, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you made it this far, thank you again. I urge you all to like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. We thank you. It means a lot to us. And we'll be back with the next one.